Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Pale Beyond here on Wheel of Games. Oh, getting cold here. I had to turn on my own little space here. So last time we were in the long dark of winter, and we currently still are, but I think we've hopefully reassured the doctor and gotten him into a better space of mind. He was considering walking out into the snow because he thought he was a burden on everyone, and everyone does not think that way about him, so I suppose that's a good example of, don't assume that you're a burden, talk to people, get reassurance. They're more lenient on you than you might expect. I certainly know the feeling of being too hard on yourself, so I have a lot of sympathy for the doctor. But we're just starting week 28. It seems like every week of winter has been multiple weeks in terms of, like, we're just rocketing around the bottom side of this compass tracker here, which I suppose is good. Last time we pretty much stayed in the tent, so we have hardly any freezing people this week that we need to cure via the engineers. But let's make our rounds, talk to people first, see what's going on, and then take our requests. So, Mr. Hammond is in my hands is a write-up I have been working on over the winter, intended for our benefactor. It'd be good for you to have a look over the material, let me know if there's anything missing. Aye, sure thing. Oh, without dripping oil everywhere if you can. My research is quite important. And my work isn't? Of course it is. Could you attempt to clean your hands at least? With what? Bloody ice water? I'm certain I have a cloth somewhere. Here, take this as your own. Aye, thanks. That hand cloth was actually embroidered by... Don't care. Yeah, don't expect him to care. Winter can't be over soon enough. This is the longest I've gone without any proper exercise. Well, winter has granted me plenty of time to read by lamplight. Perhaps one should use this time to exercise their mind instead. Hells. Oh wait, that was Flick. Hells. What? That's the most obnoxious thing you've said so far. It's almost impressive. Yeah, they're getting on each other's nerves. You bark back at it. Haha, we're going barking mad. Bark, 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 bark. Bark, bark, bark. Nothing to talk with them about yet. Okay, let's go to the request tent. Week 28. Oh yeah, it didn't have us do any journal bits for a little while. Okay. Hey, Runt. Happen. Could you move me to a new tent? I'm stuck with my Da all winter. I thought it proper to place you with family. I'm not a child. You most certainly are. Well, I don't need him looking over my shoulder all the time, sir. You need your own space, then? Aye. Can you, Captain? I don't know where we'll relocate him to, but... Sure. Like, if we put him with the engineers, they would hopefully be happy with each other. Huh. Templeton never likes it whenever we accommodate one of their requests. It's almost funny at this point. In fact, what's he down to? Not too much. Grimly's starting to catch back up with us again. We're doing pretty well. I figured we would have encountered the captain by now, really, if we were going to. This, like, before the dead of winter happened. Captain? Templeton? Mr. Higgs? Call me Tucker. Mr. Higgs is fine. Okay. Something you require? Must be nerve-wracking in here all day. Well, I say day. Can't tell what time it is anymore, can you? I suppose not, but... Must fry your head, Captain, does it? What, Templeton? Haha. It's not too bad. I've grown used to it. I suppose it's been long enough now. I'm sorry, Mr. Higgs. Did you come here with a request or not? Days barely exist anymore. Nothing to do around here but pass the hours. So you have nothing to request? Nah. You've simply come here to make idle chatter? Aye, nothing better to do. Aye, Captain? Okay, well, I'm not gonna yell at him. Or give him stuff. Just, go play cards. Embrace the free time. It'd be the 50th game this week, Captain. But I'll not keep you from your work any longer. It seems the winter is beginning to take its toll on the crew. We should take great care to ensure they keep their minds active. We still have a good deal of winter to work through. And York. Captain Shaw, oh goodness. You're out of breath. Calm yourself. Is it an emergency? Well, this might sound mad. Out with it. I saw it. Clear as day, I looked out into the snow and I saw it. What? The Banweir? Well, Captain, next order of business is... I'm not joking. I know it sounds mad, but I saw it. Well, what's a Banweir? 12 feet tall, covered in thick, bushy white hair. No such creature exists. The winter has clearly gotten to you. We're getting back into that... The Book of the Terror again. Not lots of parallels. So far, we haven't encountered anything supernatural. It's just been a survival story. But granted, we've basically been in this spot for 2 months, so it wouldn't be an exact parallel. Basically, it started picking them off as soon as they were stuck in the ice. Because they had gone past, whatever parallel. They were too far north, so they were in its air territory, so it started hunting them. But in this case, we've already been here, so it wouldn't make sense for it to start hunting us now, if it was the same monster, but maybe we're starting to get into the supernatural. I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me too, but what if they weren't? What if there is a beast like that? If we caught it, it could feed us for 3 winters, no 4. You are not suggesting a winter hunting party. I mean, I've already sent, 2 out. We won't travel far. Captain, think about it. That is far too dangerous for a simple whim. I wonder how many people it's going to request, is my thing. 1 to 4. And it may not even require him with it. He probably does need rest. This is the guy who, doesn't sleep at night. I remember that from months and months ago. That said, granted, this is the southern pole, unless they, made a typo early on. This was all about finding magnetic south. So we should be at the South Pole, but I keep bringing up the map on how it's the, everything that's frozen and solid ice is north of us. So it'd be funny if there was, we're actually trying to find magnetic north and it was just a typo this whole time. That would explain polar bears versus they wouldn't be down here at the South Pole. There could be a reasonable expectation. Maybe we're going to find some other, large, actual existing beast for us to find and hunt for food. But, a polar bear, that's pretty dangerous. Like those leopard seals. Pretty dangerous, so I don't know how we want to go with that. I want them to hunt, but I want them to hunt where we know there's penguins. But we do have the people that we could sort of spend on this. There weren't any holes in the tent, for example, this morning when we were looking at it. So maybe I can spend the 4 people that we would have had chasing after that. Why is he... Oh, he was only locked because he was behind the other person. I feel like I should send the dummy who's saying this out on that thing, but I still want him to be scouting. This is a real dumb scouting party, and I'm expecting 3 of them to come back frozen, but they're already freezing. Of course, I'll have them cure to that freezing before they come back freezing again anyway. But still... This is so dumb. But this is for the fun of the game. He's not going to like that at all. Kurt kind of likes it. We'll keep it safe. The unexplored winter. Who knows what we might find? Nothing but death and ruin. This is ridiculous. So they're hunting for the Banweir. I'm hoping they find something else and kill it and not... Oh, there is a hole. Why didn't we see this before? Well, it showed up after the request, as usual. So now I have to spend most of the rest of my sailors on that. Let's see. I can have one of the engineers because I have so relative few people to spend on that. So I'll put the guy who's... Not him. Let's see, who do I want to have actually running... I'm thinking about who I want to assign to the sick bay, because... Let's see, I guess I want to do this later. I want to have someone raise the heat first, have it be someone I know I don't need to send to the med bay. And then whoever is not still frozen after this... Ah, okay. What I was hoping for was... he might get cured of freezing, because then I could use him for something else, maybe. But I was thinking I could send the two of them to medbay, and then I wouldn't have to worry about those conditions at the end of the week. I could just, basically live with it. But I need one more person to cure the issue with the issue with... if I just send him out, like, I might as well send someone out to go get a penguin if I'm going to have him cure freezing, because then he'll cure himself and the other person. I don't need to have Runt. I suppose I could send more people out and just have Runt cure them. So, like, 3 people. I guess that could just be all the scientists. If I send the scientists out, they're all going to be freezing. Right now, I don't even have somewhere to, research expeditions to even attempt. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. So tough choices here. The scientists basically don't have anything but medical comforts to do. I can assign one of them without feeling bad, because I'm not doing an expedition outside right now. So, who feels like it? Hey, Zach. Something to keep you busy. Okay. And the 4 of you? It's weird how there's 5 people big on that thing right now. I don't know what is going into that. Oh, I should have listened to some people first. You done with that book yet? Almost. Do you want to trade? Alright, but you'll need to send it back to Mr. Zach when you're done. Okay, and you have to return this to Dr. Nutley. That's nice. And Lefty. Oi, old man, today's your birthday, isn't it? Surprised you still know what day it is. But these old bones grow even older. I can't imagine what surprise you have planned. I actually asked Grimly to carve a wooden whale for you before we set off. Oh, and where is it? Went down with the ship. Ah, well, it's the thought that counts. Cute. So, 2 scientists, 3 scouts, and 2 engineers left. We again have the trade-offs of scouting versus the SEALs. So the 2 engineers, I do want to have helping people. So if I have all 3 of the scouts just go outside and pull in food, because that's also going to be going into the furnace at this point, I'll have 4 freezing people. I can use 2 engineers and get them all the way back to fully healed before next week. And again, because we'll have sent basically nobody out during this period, we should have minimum freezing people for next week and still be in a good spot. I think that's better than most other things we could possibly plan. And then I can have us brew another medical comforts for when Leap hits the fan, which I'm just certain it's going to. Oh, I may have forgotten to get a penguin out of the pile last week. Being wasteful and inefficient again. So, we'll just have them do that. They can't get freezing more than once. Yep, all of them freezing. Now let's get back inside and warm you up. So, 1 at a time. Engineer goes. Healed freezing for himself and York. And now Runt goes, and he will cure the other 2. Good, good, good. So now nobody's freezing. Yay, that's great. For the middle of winter as well. So now, feeding the furnace. I still kind of want to keep some timber around. So I think it's time to start burning, honestly, the fish before the other things. Hopefully by the time that we start needing the dogs for, like, needing to start using the fish for the dogs again. So I'll keep a couple of fish in reserve, but hopefully by that time we can start fishing again. So I'm going to put a couple of fish in the pot. Start putting them in because they're worth more than the penguins. The penguins we need for the food. So a couple of those in the furnace, and we can do the triple if we need it. Now over to the foosh pot. We have a malnourished person. So the first one we put in there. is going to give us an extra 3. Yep. And now how many more? We need, well, a total of 31, so no more than 3 more penguins, and we'll be in great position. So our furnace is a little bit lower than the other stuff, but I think we can afford to do half on the furnace. We can't do half on the rations. Yeah, if I'd managed to put Runt in the med bay, we could have done half rations again, because then it wouldn't have progressed. Yeah, what other thing did I do instead? I got 2 more penguins, which is almost as much as the rations would have given us. Maybe I should have sent them out. Alright, we've got the 2 people left. Those are the scientists for making some more medical comforts. Now, we haven't done any morale stuff for the past couple of weeks. But yeah, we can get the crew back on their feet in an emergency. That's good. We got a couple of those now. I am okay letting the morale drop a little bit right now. We'll hopefully get more expeditions on our way out, but who knows what else is going to happen. Let's get to dinner. Okay, the crew have their meal. And return to their posts. The long dark continues. Choose who to spend your evening with. Okay, good. No more surprise tears in the cloth. And we mostly have the doctor. Let's check. No one else is even in the tents at this point. We haven't spoken to Lady Cordell in a while. And nobody hiding in our tent. So let's just talk to the doctor. As you step out, you notice Nutley approach. Captain, I've been thinking a great deal over the last while. I want to thank you for speaking with me when you did. I needed that. I've certainly made this expedition more difficult than it had right to be through my previous cowardice. And for that, I'm sorry, Captain Shaw. Yep, I mean, in a way, they might have doubted him. Yeah, the bottom is still more being a jerk. No need to be. I'm happy you've seen some sense. Wonder how my father is doing. On the other side of the world, I wonder if he's thinking of me. My mother and my sister, too. There's so much I must return to. Pauses for a moment before presenting you with an envelope. Captain, if I failed to make it back to the world, would you be able to bring this letter to my father? Well, we're not going to open it from him, but take the letter. We've said you'll do it yourself, but we can still hold on to the letter. Okay, give him a nod. Doctor gives you a nod back. I'll make this shirt. I hope I won't need to deliver this. Gives you a nod as he makes his way back into his tent, and you make your way back to camp. Letter rests neatly in your hand. I'm gonna respect its privacy unless we have to, you know, later on. Hey, Runton is Da. Is the winter over yet, Da? Oh, you're sick of it, eh? I was sick of it when it started. I want to move. Oh, they actually highlight a little bit as they go back and forth. Let's see how much farther in can... Oh, I can zoom in quite a bit now. Not much longer now, I'm sure. Oh, figures. It stops doing it at the moment. Let's find the other people to talk. Okay, Kasha and Cordell. Gee, Kasha, I've noticed something. And what's that? Looking at some of the older photographs, a few of the dogs have grown quite a bit since we first landed. We have been here for quite some time, yes? It'll be interesting to see the time-lapse. Do not expect the rest of us to grow taller as well. Ah! But that reminds me, I've never interviewed you yet. And you just might be the most interesting member of the crew. I am not a member of the crew. There is no need to interview me. I disagree. Is that so? There's too much I'm curious on. What led to the dog handling? Why the accent? Why are you Lady Cordell? You do recall the figure of speech regarding curiosity in the cat, yes? I thought you were more of a dog person. That was a joke. I am aware. I take it then that you're not interested in answering my questions? Not in the slightest. Understood. Well, she tried. See. Let's bark at some more dogs. Rub its belly. Pat. Rub its chin. Okay, bark, bark. I've been barking at them all along. No one else to talk to in there. Okay, I think it is time for us to... Oh, no, not exit the canopy. Well, like, where am I looking? Up there. End of the week. Okay, so we do need the normal crew rations. but the fuel spend... Yeah, wow. Even the high, someone's still going to develop freezing. But yeah, like the -20 there... Oh, wait. Yeah, I don't want to go all the way down. -10 is fine with me. Half fuel rations, I will feel great about that. Well, relatively. We're still... Now that we're burning fish, you know, we still need to go easy on all the freezing stuff. But we can cure that many people of freezing. We might even do a trip out to the penguin pile and, you know, 2 batches of 2. Okay. Over the week? Oh, right. They hunted for the Banweir. I hope they don't all just die. I'll feel so stupid. Oh. 2 people were wounded, whilst 3 people were wounded. All 4 people were wounded. What the heck happened with that? I'm going to have a heck of a report next week. So yeah, 2 people freezing. I did forget that they actually left outside, so I do have 5 people freezing, so the engineers have work. Oh, what did I do? Well, time for some medical comforts, I guess. Yeah, plus 12 available crew. What happened? Okay, week 32. Yeah, it's speeding through the back half of this. Maybe closer to the end than I thought. Okay, let's talk to people before finding out just what stupidity we did. Morn, winter might finally be clearing up, eh? About time. Well, that's still at -46. Remember when those bloody penguins showed up at camp? Seems an age passed now. Not much longer now? I guess he wants reassurance. Yeah, not soon enough. Can't wait to get moving again. Okay, and Kurt down here. With the doctor. I must say, Doctor, something in your walk as of late. You're holding that head high. Oh, thank you. I'm sure you're as eager as the rest of us. Not long now before we'll be able to stretch our legs outside again. On that subject, I was running a few physical examinations in preparation of returning to work. Do you mind? Of course not. This won't take long, I hope. It shouldn't. He's getting an exam from the doctor, eh? Oh, and they're in there? Okay, but I wonder if I can use the med bay, use the medical comforts, and then that will clear the med bay to be used again? Like, if I can just do 2 rounds of that to get all of these wounded people back? But that sure was a heck of a thing. Actually, let's look at her photo library. There should be some new stuff in there by now. I'm not sure if there are more being added as we go further and further to the right. Or if these are just the new ones down here. Because that's the doctor again? I guess there aren't any new ones in the collection. Ah, well. And no one else to talk to in any of those spots? No lady? No lady. Let's go to the requests and figure out what the heck happened and if I made a terrible mistake sending them outside. They're wounded, they're not dead. But yeah, so what did you do? I should apologize for my demand a few weeks back. As you should, not a single sighting of this beast of yours. All we've got is the cuts from the blizzard to show for it. I don't know what I was thinking at the time. I was certain I'd seen something. So that was just all stupidity. I'm more disappointed in the captain. Such delusions should never be encouraged. I'm sorry, again. So that was just a complete waste of 4 people last week, and now 4 people this week. Well, I'm not rewinding, especially now that it looks like we're in such a better position than I originally thought. Oh, run stop. Am I moving Timmy back closer to me? He's had his fun away at camp, but I need to keep an eye on him. Do you think he can't manage without your watchful eye? Nah, it's not that. Timmy's done plenty of growing while we've been out here. It's me who needs him. He's me extra arm. Protective parent, I see. Well, Captain? I won't move him, but move him closer? I don't know. I already honored your son's request. He stays where he is. I thought you'd say that. And good on you for keeping your word. I'm sure Timmy appreciates it. I'll leave you be then. Good, no demoralization from that either. Captain, I was running a standard physical examination on, well, I'd request that you meet me with me in the medical tent this evening. Uh-oh. Is there an issue? Why not present it here? The individual involved would rather this be handled privately. Apologies for sounding so cryptic, just Later, after dinner. So we saw that thing about Kurt. Although he was doing more exams, we can't just assume it was Kurt, but most likely Kurt has a medical issue. Interesting. I must admit, I'm curious what issue the doctor has encountered that requires your summons. Well, I needn't pry. A private matter is a private matter. Interesting. Oh, and... yeah, let's see. I can feel it. I can see it. The warm light at the end of the tunnel. Good for you. As far as I can tell, it's still dark as shit. It's a metaphorical light. Winter is almost past us. About time. I suppose since we've been going 4 weeks at a time, that's 3 months. Just about. Okay. So I don't need to call them to dinner just yet, but now I need to start making decisions. So we have 5 freezing people. I really don't want to send people like out in the blizzard because we haven't done that much scouting. I wouldn't feel right, if I sent people out to the hunt. That's going to be like 3 of the 4 people will be freezing next month, along with the likely 3 people freezing because I'm still going really low on the rations. Oh, we could always get a penguin for a frozen person. So here's the question. I suppose I'm definitely going to be sending people to the med bay without a question. So let's see, like, if I get the people right back right away, as well as, I just want to double check. Nope, there were no tears in the tent. Okay, good. So looks like we've gotten through those issues at least. Okay, so we need the med bay. Wounded and freezing. I suppose the wounded and freezing people I can leave. Actually, yeah, then I don't have to use as many engineer things, because I'll just heal them right away, and I won't have to then spend an engineer on them. Perfect. So 1 to 2, that's 2. And now, instantly cure. They're ready to start working again right away. Ah, I cannot double up on the med bay. So the 2 wounded people are just gonna continue to be wounded. I suppose the one who's frostbitten... See, there's no way for me to ensure that the engineer don't cure the wounded person when they raise the temperature, which I'm about to do. Runt. Yeah, let's just have him. So, who did he cure? Himself? Himself. I guess that's what we wanted, so now that, like, the person who's frostbite who will be freezing next week is just going to go into the med bay next week, and we'll leave it at that. Okay. So we're not in bad position. We are still down 2 sailors because of my... I figured they were hunting something, not just a ghost, but... hey, we tried. Now, with the 13 people, we have 5 sailors, all 3 scouts, 2 engineers, and all 3 scientists. Now, if I start, like, sending out expeditions again, that is both dumb and, I mean, we still want... wow, I'm at an even 10. The 50. So what's the best way to do this? I guess it's time for me to think about this, plot out some alternatives, and I'll come back after I've made some decisions. Okay, I think I've got an idea of what I want to do here. So we're going to keep the 2 engineers sort of as a reserve. So out of the 13 people, of them. Likewise with the scientists, I'm thinking of sending the scouts out, and maybe I'll find an expedition spot for them. I have plenty of sailors that I can send out on an expedition, or if I find nothing, I can send them out to fish and have the engineers cure them with the freezing temperatures. And I can always assign the scientists back to medical comforts. I can find things to do in the camp, basically. So I need to send people. It's time to start doing the scouting again. And I might hunt the penguins, after all. So, once again, let's scout the farthest out that we can. More big penguins. I'm looking for the big seals. I said the big seals. Get all of our scouting done. Okay, we found the big seals. I did already say next week we're planning to put two people in the med base, so if I do the leopard seal now, like a wounded person from next week is not going to be able to get healed right away, so this is more of an investment still. Maybe the two smoking guys, send them out for the leopard seals. But those leopard seals are so good for the food and fighting morale problems that I very much want to send them out if I possibly can. I didn't find a research opportunity. But on the bright side, this is only two people, so they'll both be freezing, but it's not three freezing people. So they're going out. We've actually used all the dogs again for once. A little surprising. I could send more people out, like after a whole lot of penguins, or I could send them out here. So now we've got like something to weigh. The scientists, we could send them after the penguins, or we can have them make medical comforts. Probably the medical comforts, because we have all these wounded people that we're going to have to send through the medbay really fast again next time. So if I don't send people out hunting those penguins, what are they going to do? Next week, we know we're going to have two freezing people from that expedition. If I send more people out hunting these penguins, basically, like it's three frozen people, but I would get 5 penguins instead of 3 frozen people this week and only 3 penguins. So I feed a pail of fish to the dogs, and I deal with frozen people next week as opposed to frozen people this week. I think I'm okay with that. That's gonna... I need to feed the dogs first, but we haven't needed to do in a little while. There we go. We got some dogs back. And there's the exit. So let's hunt for penguins. But one more. I mean, yeah. Send a scientist out, the other two work on medical comforts. We only need 2 for that, so... up they go. It's still... I suppose morally it's bad to hunt down more penguins when you've got a pile of penguins just outside. Didn't think of that beforehand, but... yeah. It's a bit wasteful. I was only thinking in terms of gameplay, I'm sorry. But also survival situation. We can loosen the constraints a little bit, I think. So we have 4 people left. Ooh. So 2 of them are engineers, and 2 of them are scientists. I could send one out. Oh, we also have decorum needs. Like, if I send people out for penguins, or do I want to have the medical comforts? Like, if I've got 4 people, what's the best way to arrange all of this? Because if I use 2 on medical comforts, I'm going to have 1 engineer left, so I send 1 engineer out and have him, the remaining person, raise the heat. I suppose that works. I don't need to send more people out for penguins. Our penguin stores are doing well. So, have the married couple make some more comforts. Okay. Right, so I've got the photographer. That's the thing I temporarily forgot about. So if I send someone out, they'll be freezing at the end of the week. Oh no, they'll be freezing now, and they'll have frostbite at the end of the week, so I'll have to spend the other person on raising the temperature. There's no other thing that I can send someone onto. So either I send one person out, the other person mans the furnace, or I just have one person go idle for a week. I'm not going to doom someone to frostbite without not having enough medical capacity for them. I'm not going to send just one person out to hunt. I mean, I would get basically 2 seals out of it for 1 frozen person. Maybe that's actually worth it. Like, it's also a frozen person next week, so they won't have frostbite right away. It does feel kind of dumb. I'd be trading fish for 2 seals? I guess that's technically better from, like, a food perspective. Like, versus just having someone sit idle and not do anything. Is that worth it? Is that worth it? Yeah, if I'm only using the fish for, like, their furnace value of 9, 2 of those seals is actually better, so... Give the dogs another fish, and we'll send... Oh, that's not the exit. Feels a bit stupid, but we're going to send one of the engineers out. They'll get 2 crab-eater seals, that's relatively safe. They'll be freezing next week, but we can deal with that next week. Because we didn't send more expeditions out. So ironically, now that I know I'm not going to be able to maximally hunt every single spot, now it's actually more efficient to get what I can before the map resets again. And the last person... Well, Grips has already been interviewed, but we're still going to get the decorum bonus. Okay. Now everyone's done everything. Let's go to dinner. Oh, I forgot to pump this up ahead of time. Hopefully I still can after. I suppose this is another half rations time anyway. But yeah, can I still feed the pot? Yeah, nobody is currently malnutrition, so we will just fill this up the normal way. One more, let's get that pot to 100. Yeah. And the furnace. I'm still burning fish. I don't think I want to go below 4. So let's start putting some penguins in there. That'll get us to exactly 75, just in case something happens. We'll be able to run it hot. Okay. Oh, right. Medical tent. Let's talk to the other people first. Almost over now. What? I remember when the wind would scare the crap out of you. Hide under your blankets and cry until it went away. Don't tell anyone that, Not embarrassed. I'm all grown now. You've plenty of growing still ahead, Timmy. But you're getting there. What's with you, You've got a keen eye on the medical tent. It's nothing that concerns you. Or you, apparently. Are you bothered you're being shut out of a meeting for once? Ah, you are. I don't care much for secrecy. Coming from you, that's bloody rich. And no hidden things. Dog, bark bark. Okay, so is this Kurt? It is Kurt. And the photographer. Ah, Captain, don't let the cold in. Captain Shaw, to what do we owe the visit? Ah, Kasha, this is actually a private matter. You mind giving us the tent for a moment? Oh, very well. Kasha exits. Sorry, I don't think this is worth getting the crew worried over. Why all the secrecy? It's just not a matter worth sharing with the crew. I noticed an arrhythmia in his heart. It's difficult to determine the cause without further examination. But as it stands, my current diagnosis is cardiomyopathy. Years of adventure finally catching up to the old ticker, eh? Well, it could be genetic. Ah, that's just a guess still. Some unusual rhythm is, get the last word. Have you experienced shortness of breath while sitting down? Well, fatigue, a sudden cough when you lie down, dizziness. I noticed some swelling in your ankles as well. Who's to say that? Kurt, please, I'm trying to help. Yes, I've experienced it. What does this mean? Well, it's manageable, but you will have to take it easy for the rest of the expedition. Ah! No more hauling equipment. Very well. If you're offered a drink by the crew, refuse. Tough but fair. And, well, It's my belief that Kurt is not fit to lead a lifeboat once we set off. Now, Doctor, that's just not possible. I'm the navigator. You can't honestly expect anyone else to handle that sort of duty. He doesn't have to lead a lifeboat. We've only got the 3 lifeboats, so you can at least provide guidance, Kurt. Yes, but leading the boats are a separate matter entirely. I can't foreplan the entire sail. Your health comes first, Kurt. The entire crew's health is at risk if I'm not navigating those boats. Kurt, I won't mince words. You could die. We all could. I don't want to argue with you, Arthur. We won't be getting anywhere doing so. It's up to you, Captain. That's true. Do you think it worth the risk? He's gonna say he's fit. Well, that's interesting, like leading the boats. Are we gonna spend some time actually being out on the water again in the lifeboats? Glad we kept those flares, but yeah, I order you to rest. I want to get 25 people. I want to get you back to your daughters. He's not gonna like that. I'm sorry. But I won't argue. I trust your judgment, both of you. Thank you for seeing reason, Kurt. And thank you, Doctor. It was a good catch. Oh, and let's not tell the crew about this, will we? I don't need them fussing over it, and a man is due his privacy. I'll respect that. I suppose I should get an early night, then. He exits. Tell me more, tell me more. Oh, no other new things out of there. Oh, and nothing else from there. Any more last-minute things? Nope, still no one hiding in there. Okay, we're all in a good shape. Nothing outside the tent. Like, you know, there's a wampa or something hiding outside that we can spot. Let's double check. I took my own, I get to pick one myself, too. Forgot about that on a previous week. Not this time. Haha. I wonder if I can do it, like, before dinner and after dinner or something weird. Time for us to hit the hay. Week 32? Uh-oh, you awake to the sound of distant barking. Seems the dogs have been excited by something. You sprint from your tent. You aren't alone in being awoken by the dogs. Uh-oh. At the center of the campsite, a crack begins to form, followed by more, spreading out. The dogs leap from the kennel, sprinting southwards. Wait, wait! Cordell runs across the cracks in pursuit of her dogs. The ice shifts beneath you. You hear the sound of something falling, then smashing. Well, the boiler's still right there, but, okay. The lamps. Hell, what's this? Oh no, the flow is splitting. Quick, we need to move, now, no wasting time. Nutley and Kasha run out from the medical tent. Nutley carries his bag slung over his shoulder, while Kasha's hands are filled with notes. What is this? Ice is splitting. That all of your work? What I could carry, yes. Not good. Your tent's going under. What? Oh. My equipment. Do not go back that way, either of you. Understand? Templeton turns to Kurt. How should we handle this? Captain, we need to get out of this tent as soon as possible. Everything past that point is going to be swallowed up. You heard the man. Everyone haul what you can. Move! Move. The crew get to work on the furnace and lifeboats, hauling as fast as they can. Ice advances. It splits further. The tents sink below. Oh, okay. I can't even calculate how much stuff we just lost there. That looks like fire, but it's just the lamps under the ice. The canopy collapses. Okay, the crew barely make it out from the burning tarp. A few sustained burns and bruises. Wow. Yorick got injured again? Uh-oh. What was that sound? Okay, we've jumped ahead 5 more. Yeah, we have so many injured people. Okay, a new camp by the shore. Well, there's at least some dawn during the day and it's not quite as cold. But what is happening? Oh, time for some journal stuff. New camp has been formed in the aftermath of the ice split at the close of winter. However, the crew cannot rest at this time. After a long journey, the shore has been reached. In the coming week, the crew will sail out on the lifeboats in search of proper land. Soon this ice shall be left behind. The ice that proved to be a truly traumatic experience for the crew. The fact that the crew escaped with all lives intact is nothing short of extraordinary. The same cannot be said for our equipment. Many supplies were lost, washed away, and carried off with the ice. One can only hope they no longer prove a necessity in the final stretch of the expedition. The crew has reached the shore, but now a great challenge presents itself. The ice beneath our feet will not hold for much longer. It is destined to break apart and tear as it did before. Solid ground must be reached in search of the point of rescue. To that end, the crew must sail out onto the open sea. We can only hope. I trust the crew's capabilities. A team of fit and well-experienced sailors alongside a navigator of the caliber of Kurt Darling. Though it may seem daunting, this sail may prove to be the most comfortable task for the crew. Sailing is their lifeblood. They are more equipped for this than they are anything else. Wow. Oh, okay, saved game 2 trees. So, we're at the edge of the ice now. Well, as soon as I enter the request tent, but I want to see what happened. All our resources are gone. Everything. Everything we had... Our stockpile of 30 Emperor Sea penguins, all gone. We still have a revolver, but all of our other shotguns are gone. I still have the captain's hat. Oof. And we still have the 51 research. Oof. A lot of wounded people. And we lost a lot of the other stuff as well. Well, I don't know if this is like the end of the game or what's going to happen next. Yeah, we lost all the flares we had too. Man. That was in our resources. There's not like a separate thing for key items, is there? Nope, the flares are all gone. So yeah, I have no idea what's going to happen next. I feel like the game's about to change. We still have scouting, but they're forcing us to deal with very little. And I'm still suffering for that silly Yeti hunt. But still, it looks like I'm at time. I don't know what's going to happen next, but we have reached week 37. Apparently it said next week we're taken to the boats and we're going to go back to sea. As best we can. Wow, a lot's happened this episode. But, maybe the conclusion? Maybe a couple more left in us? Until we reach the end of The Pale Beyond. See you in the next episode. Bye-bye.